Hey, all right, what's the one question? The episode has started.
The one question, if a player scores 40 points in the first half, but finishes the game with 42 points, did he have a good game?
I mean,
did they win the game? That's the question. Did they win the game?
You heard the question that Jonathan asked?
John, ask that question again.
Did they win the game?
He didn't win the game. 42 points. 40 points first half, 2 points second half, and he lose the game. So that's a player that scored 42 points.
Yeah. Corey. He said, like, and that's why he asked, did they win the game? So they only had a great game if they win the game.
No,
I didn't say that. I'm just asking questions.
No, wait. I know what you're going with, because you're saying about Nikola Jokic. You're saying, because he had 30.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, he had 32
That's
points.
What I'm talking about.
All right, so Jonathan, you basing it on if the team won, right? If he had a good game or not, right?
I mean, we talking a regular season game? We talking just like Pat statting, or we talking about these W's?
Well, the most important game in the playoffs was like the W. The W.
And playoffs is win or go home. So if you drop. So like my thing is how you had such an impact. You were such a baller in the first half, and in the second half when it mattered, and you need to bring it home. You know, I mean, there's always exceptions. Like, let's say, for example, with somebody else's fault, somebody, fouled a 3-point shooter. You know, you hit the game winning shot and they hit some other crazy shot. So you could have had a good game and a losing effort.
Okay.
But it's kind of lopsided for you to be balling that crazy in the first half and then really not show up in the second half. Like,
Well, Cuzzo, what do you say then? Since you want to be on Nikola Jokic, didn't have a great game or whatnot.
Nikola Jokic had a big game.
Great game or not having a great game, my stance is only that you are the leader of the team. And when we need you to score, we need you to score.
Come on.
Wait.
Let me get it, because with the audio, he can't see us. Wait. I'm trying to remember, because I did fall asleep halfway in the game when I saw the highlights. Nikola Jokic only scored 2 points in the second half?
No, he didn't. I was just using that as euphemism, just for the sake of the argument that we're about to set up.
It's not his fault they lost. It's not his fault they lost. Jamal Murray's the reason why they lost.
Yeah, that is true. Jamal Murray is the reason why they lost.
No, see, Cuzzo,
Jokic balled out.
You hating on my
Jokic balled out.
He needed to score, and they put him on smash. When you are a scorer, such as Kobe Bryant, going back Michael Jordan, such as Shaq, there was no denying those guys points down the stretch when the team needed a bucket. When the team down by 2, we need a bucket. This is what separates the champions from the losers. Who can knock down shots down the stretch? Who can make turnaround jump shots? Who can make turnaround hook shots? Who can slam dunk the basketball when they need to slam dunk the basketball? Who can shoot?
Yeah. But I'm saying,
coming in hot with the takes, man. Coming in hot with the takes.
But he's thoughtful with is always hot and thoughtful with the takes overall.
They had the lead. They had the lead in the fourth quarter.
They did.
And it was not because of stellar gameplay by the Clippers that lost in that game. It was actually because
Clippers clamped down a little bit on defense. Some of that was the Clippers clamped down a little bit on defense.
Well, that's true. But what we're going to do, we're going to continue that whole discussion. Let's get the intro song going all the way. Let's go.
Free card, not here to screw you over. Like a British story, and all that pressure display. Be a Robin Orange, yes, it's another episode of a basketball. With me, Andrew Jones, alongside his great sir, Jonathan Jordan, James Eddie.
What up?
Is busy handling some stuff and make sure that his Zoom is all good. So he may come on a little later overall, but we have a special guest on here for the first time. It's my great cousin, Michael Corey Rogers, up there, Hamza Muhammad, chilling all the way up in Orangeville. What's up?
What up?
All right.
Now, Cuzzo, we got to talk about this all the way because my cousin only has short amount of time before me and Jonathan have our wonderful discussions, including Cuzzo. We had the best Jordan LeBron discussion ever overall, or not, where he has Jordan clearly. He is fully, well, his last name is Jordan, so Jonathan Jordan is Jonathan's full name. So that's why he would favor Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, there's more to it than that, but we're not going to get into that again. That's not tonight's topic. We're going to stay on topic. That's not tonight's topic.
A lot of people want to compare Michael Jordan and LeBron James, man. That's like comparing apples and oranges.
No, because we had this.
No.
We're going to stay on topic, sir. Sir, we're going to stay on topic all the way now, all right? We're going to have the full basketball show discussion of Jordan and LeBron one of these days, like how we had it on IG, me and Jonathan doing the last dance. But right now, what we're going to do right now is talk about what happened really last night, because the Bucks Heat, we can't really talk about that because the game is going to be on the minute we upload this episode. What I will say about that, we'll get to that in a second. First, cousin, if you had to pick between, do you think the Raptors will win Game 6 tomorrow in the series that when it came into it, it was 50-50 to come in. That's why I was so captivated with the series. But I still thought the Celtics would send
the
win.
Raptors are going to force a Game 7.
The Raptors are going to win Game 7.
They have the heart. They have the heart of the champion.
You've been all Raptors.
They have the personnel to pull it off. I think they're going to pull it off. If they don't pull it off, I won't be disappointed, but I hope they pull it off the same pace as at least being the defending champs, push it to a Game 7.
I think the fans deserve a Game 7 for that series. Like, I feel like people were trying to be like, oh my goodness, Celtics are nice. Celtics are well coached. They got a balanced attack. They play defense. They play offense. And it's just like, okay, so they're superior. But Raptors do a lot of the same things. They have a balanced attack. They're well coached. They got balanced offense. They got defense. And so I would like to see a Game 7 in that series.
I would like to too.
I would like to see Game 7 also.
But see, my thing is that for me, Nick Nurse has always been slightly overrated. And the reason why...
We're going to talk about overrated coaches in a second.
We will, but...
don't do that to Nick Nurse, man.
I'm doing it.
D-League champion.
No.
Back-to-back D-League champion.
Yes, he had the D-League. He had the D-League. Jerry Stackhouse had the D-League too.
Come on, but he didn't win back-to-back D-League championships.
You're right.
NBA won an NBA championship as well.
You're right, but this is my thing with Nick Nurse.
How can he be underrated? He's accomplished in his first season.
No. I said he's overrated. He's overrated.
How is he overrated?
Cause let me tell you why. Because Dwayne Casey should still be the coach, and if people may think I'm on just black coaching solidarity, maybe a little bit, but no. And honestly, Dwayne Casey, if you
Dwayne, look.
It was. No.
Two things can be right. Two things can be right.
Exactly. See?
Look.
You don't make an adjustment to win not one game. You embarrass your town. You embarrass your home team. Are you serious? Right now,
Jonathan, let me let you talk, Jonathan. Well, he should be still gone. Cause we're gonna get on Mike Budenholzer.
So how can you see the Milwaukee Bucks coach ousted and understand why he got ousted and not understand why the way Casey got ousted?
Well, because I'm gonna get on this second. I got a perfect explanation for it. I got a perfect explanation for that. Jonathan, first, what you gonna say?
So two things can be true. Dwayne Casey probably still should be the coach of the Raptors, and Nick Nurse is not overrated. Both can be true. Nick Nurse made his adjustments. Nick Nurse coached his ass off all of last year. Like, he did the most. He made the adjustments he needed to make at every step along the way. And don't get me wrong, it's helpful when you have a player of Kawhi Leonard's stature to be able to make adjustments. But he made them at every step along the way, and you can't take away that ring from him. That being said, I think Dwayne Casey got a raw deal in how he got shipped out, because I think last year, if anything, it proved that it was largely
DeMar DeRozan.
Exactly. Took the words right out of my mouth. It's DeMar DeRozan.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, basically, it's not DeMar DeRozan's fault that he's not as good as Kawhi, but
yeah, other Jonathan. That's a great point. Yeah. What you said, guys?
This is my party notes right here. We got three types of coaches. We got coaches that coach great talent. We got coaches that have great talent and just fall back.
Mm-hmm.
And we got coaches that turn mediocre guys into champions.
Popovich, Eric Spoelstra, probably.
I'll leave that with you guys to have fun with, man. I love you, Jay. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, man. Hit me up, boy.
No doubt.
All
right. I will.
All right, love you, cuz. Love you. That's real, man. All the way, man. That's how real bedside conversations get with sophisticated black men in different strains or whatnot. But yeah, he's that real like that, Jonathan. But I was gonna tell him overall that the reason why I'm not saying Nick Nurse isn't a good coach. He is definitely diligent. But my thing is that, first off, I felt that Dwayne Casey's not lesser than him, and that Dwayne Casey just didn't have Kawhi Leonard and improved Siakam on his team.
That's fair.
And he didn't have to face LeBron, and Nick Nurse didn't have to face LeBron James anymore in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, but I mean, we could go down the rabbit hole on this one, but I mean, the only way for it to be fair is to go back in a time machine and, knowing what Nick Nurse did, give Dwayne Casey the exact same Raptors team that Nick Nurse had last year and see whether or not they could have won the championship.
This is the thing.
That's the only thing to really be fair, but I mean, we can't go back in a time machine.
True, but now then I'll focus on Nick Nurse last year, okay? Nick Nurse, they got advanced to 7-game. First off, they lost the first game against the Magic, as the Raptors always seem to do in a series and whatnot, is lose the first game in the playoffs. And all their Toronto fans are saying, deja vu over again, because Toronto, despite being the New York of Canada, a lot of Canadians are just naturally pessimistic people. I guess they're pessimistic compared to us or whatever overall. They were like pessimistic overall in terms of their Raptors and whatnot, because they love their Raptors in Toronto all the way, all right?
Well, they were afraid that their Raptors might be extinct again.
Well, I mean, the dinosaur references, for those in the dinosaur community, we apologize for that overall. Now those Jurassic Park lovers, literally Jurassic Park in Toronto and also Jurassic Park in general. So they lose game 1 against the Magic, but then, of course, they gather themselves, they win over, right? Then it's the crunch series, because then it was just like this year, the best 4 teams in the East. Last year, truly, Bucks, Celtics in one Eastern semifinals, Raptors, Sixers in the other, all right? And, of course, the Celtics imploded because of Kyrie and everything, and the Bucks the Bucks really, truly look like they were the best team in the association last season, all right? Regular season and then the first 2 rounds, all right? You have Nick Nurse, again, a series where Brett Brown is getting most of the criticism, but Nick Nurse, honestly, with how he's used Marc Gasol, has really infuriated me, honestly. Because Marc Gasol, for most of the time so far in Toronto, since they traded for Valanciunas for him, he's been used literally as just a pick and pop stretch 5.
No, but that's a greater problem overall in the league. Everybody is falling in love with not using big men like big men.
Then don't let him off the hook.
I'm not letting him off the hook. I'm saying you got to look at it in the greater context. Nick Nurse is not the only coach that's underutilizing a big man with post skills and turning him into a jump shooter. That's a symptom that's going around the league 28 days later.
But see, that's key though. That's why I get at slightly coaching a bit, because Marc Gasol, he can still bang down and be clever down low, and sometimes look like previous MVP candidate from 5 years ago, Marc Gasol. He can still do it here and there, And my thing was that in that series against the Sixers last year, it was something where it was going to always be tight, because you got 2 teams that's nervous, especially the Raptors, where, I mean, if they lose or whatever, hell, Masai Ujiri, who knows? Even though he's doing a good job, he could get fired if they lose the Sixers. The whole thing could blow up all the way there or whatnot. It's a tension year where they have to at least make the finals, especially after they traded DeMar DeRozan, who they signed to a big deal, only to then be like, oh, here you go. So Masai Ujiri already put himself on the reputation with a lot of free agents. They'll probably say that, why would I go there? And then even though Toronto, because Toronto's a very lovely city for many reasons and whatnot. As Jalen Rose says, it's undefeated in the streets. Even though it's incredibly cold up there, it sometimes has Miami, Los Angeles, or our lovely city vibes, if you know what I mean, Sir Jonathan. Who knows? Barcelona all the way for sure. So, yeah, that when we go next time, it certainly for sure has those endeavors. No one knows what we're specifically talking about, but if you watch Stephen A. Smith and if you watch Jalen Rose overall and a little bit of Charles Barkley, even though he says it from a practical standpoint, but he says it like Toronto's one of my favorite cities. Well, it's a reason why for sure. Let's just say the Cardinal official video did not fully capture it all the way with Bacardi slang. It didn't capture it fully all the way, you know, when we saw that classic throwback. But back to the discussion at hand. Their whole season is on the line and whatnot, and the whole organization is on the line. And it goes down all the way to that Game 7. Momentum swings, everything. Momentum swings all the way over in Philadelphia. Both teams looking like they're looking good, and then looking like they want to throw away the series. And then Game 7 comes down to nervousness. And Kawhi Leonard, he travels. He actually travels.
See, like, come on, man. All right, look. What's done? The past is done, fam. You wrapping up the past. The past is done. We got to talk about 2020, the bubble.
But this is why I'm showing why Nick Nurse, to me, is a little overrated. I think he's good, but I think he's a little overrated because they forced him to get past Sixers, but it was a 50-50 series, all right? Bounce. Literally decided travel, 4 bounce, but hey, they advanced. Now, and this is where I'm going to get into the Bucks right now, okay? The Bucks are now best 2 teams in the East. Bucks Raptors. And the Bucks, first 2 games, they throttled them. Mirotic hitting threes. Brook Lopez hitting threes. Bledsoe hitting threes. Middleton hitting threes. They had George Brogdon at the time hitting threes. Everybody hitting threes. Raptors do a little better in game 2, but the Bucks are in clear control. So now we have game 3, okay? And this is before Nick Nurse wanted to do the whole box Giannis in and everything like that. Because it wasn't working because Mirotic is hitting. The Bucks are hitting their threes. Budenholzer, keep the same plan. Game 3 happens, all right? Remember this overall because it was like the second to last episode of Game of Thrones. That's before I started watching it. But it was the same Sunday night, all right? Game 3, Eastern Conference Finals last year. Tight game because now the Bucks are missing their threes. Now Mirotic, he's 1 of 11. Milwaukee just can't hit. But Toronto isn't playing much better. They're really struggling. In fact, I can actually show this overall because it's NBA highlights, but I'll distract. Toronto's really struggling. The Bucks, just like the Mavs in 06 when they should have went up 3-0 with Dirk against the Heat, the Bucks should have won this game. The Raptors somehow luck out.
And there's look, like they always say, they use the adage, they use the cliche. Look, basketball's a game of inches, all right? A bounce here, a free throw here, a shot there, a steal there, a turnover there. That's the game.
Exactly.
Now what happens is that at the end of the day, it comes down to coaches don't really get any shine. There's a handful of coaches that get shine. For the most part, coaches don't really get shine. When a coach wins, it's, the players won and the coach was along for the ride. When a team fails, then they say, we can't fire the players, so who we got to fire? We got to fire the coach. That's just how it works. It's a players' league. So the players are going to drive that.
It is, but you still...
The players are going to drive that. So the players are going to get the lion's share of the credit when it goes right, and the coaches are going to get the lion's share of the blame when it goes wrong. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles.
By the way, breaking news, Giannis Antetokounmpo is out.
Yes, he's out. I did see that. He's out.
They just stick it on you right there. Well, I seen on ESPN, on Sports Center. I know it probably got tweeted out before by Malika Andrews earlier. But
I mean, that's not a big shock. I mean, he's got, like, you could tell he was like pretty much been hobbling for a while.
You think he's gonna pull no Willis Reed? Yeah, he wasn't gonna probably pull any Willis Reed or anything like that. But you know, sudden though, man. The reason why though, this is why it's important for people to closely watch the game overall, because you can tell who the best coaches are by drawing up plays in the timeout, drawing up play, making sure their team is like that, but really drawing up the plays in the timeout and really making it work or whatever. And honestly,
also knowing when to take a timeout.
Knowing when to take a timeout,
knowing when to rock your rotations, when to rest your stars, you know, when to get people refocused on defense and rebounding and the little intangibles, you know.
Yeah.
They understand how to manage the flow of a game. So, I mean, I'm not saying that Nick Nurse is an elite coach. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, I think it's an overstep to say he's overrated.
Well, that's my thing. Where I say overrated in terms of, like, people have made him out to be now an elite coach, and that's why I'm like, I think he's decent, I think he's diligent, but I don't see the main difference where they just inherently said, oh, he can coach offense better than Dwayne Casey. And I'm like, you can coach offense better than Dwayne Casey. I don't see it really. And then he also has Kawhi Leonard and Pascal Siakam improve. So how could you even say that? How could you even determine that whatsoever? So, and it's not like the Raptors offense was horrible under Dwayne Casey. They were still humming in the regular season. So that's why I was just always just like, in terms of this whole thing with him, Mike Budenholzer blew the series last year. He honestly did. He panicked. He benched Mirotic. And then Giannis didn't have no lanes. And the box didn't work against Giannis. Like the Bucks weren't hitting shots. And then Giannis is not a great shooter at all. So that's why I was just so like, you know, I was just more like, Mike Budenholzer, you're again melting down the postseason. Because, yeah, people could fall back on the whole, well, but went against LeBron. And then even though we had 4 All-Stars, it was against the Cavs that had LeBron, Kyrie, Kevin Love, and they were still going to be the better team. But they still shouldn't have got swept, Atlanta. But
they should not have gotten swept. But what happens is that, again, it comes down to the players have to go out and execute. You can draw up a game plan all you want, but the players have to go out and execute.
They got to make shots.
That Atlanta, I see a lot of parallels between that Atlanta team and this Bucks team in that they are built for the regular season. They're built for the kind of team where it's like, okay, I'm going to score a lot. I'm going to get out. I'm going to blow you out. I'm going to have a really blowout, and I'm going to sit a lot of players. I'm going to be able to just gain momentum. I'm going to win a lot of my home games because I'm feeding off the fans. And it's just sort of kind of come easy to me. And I don't really face any adversity because I just jump out on a big lead. And because nobody can really game plan from me game to game, they might catch me on the second night of a back-to-back. You know, I can get out to a huge lead, get a lot of easy feast against, you know, subpar teams, you know, because, you know, you get to see no disrespect, you get to see the Knicks 4 times. You get to see the Nets 4 times. You get to see, you know, Charlotte Bobcats 4 times, you know. So you get to feast on a lot of these teams. And so you're going to get an inflated record, which is going to make it seem like you have a more inflated seeding, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're that much greater of a team. And when you kill teams by the margin that you do, then it's like it allows you to rest a whole lot more. So you're always more fresh than it's a little bit of the Warriors effect, except that the Warriors are also extra good on top of which. But because you get a chance to just rest and rest and rest, they clinched, like, I think they were one of the few teams who clinched the playoffs before the bubble even started.
Yes, definitely.
Like, I mean, it's just, you know, so it makes it seem like this fool's gold. But when a team is, okay, now we're going to plan for you specifically. We're going to take away your primary option. We're going to take away what you like to do first and foremost on offense. And now we're going to make you do your second option or your third option. Then your lack of depth, your lack of variety on offense, your over-reliance on Giannis, which is why he wins the MVP, but your lack of overall balance and your lack of a true Robin to his Batman and a true second option, maybe even a true third option, Now you get exposed in the playoffs for something like that. And teams who can have balanced scoring and can have put in a proper defensive effort and it can at least make you work for it, now you become exposed. So it's a bad matchup with Miami. Miami was always going to give them problems. Did we see Miami going up 3-0? I don't know anybody necessarily picked Miami to go up 3-0, but Miami was always going to be a problematic matchup for them. Always.
They still whacked them in the regular season, but I really thought, well, first of all, this bubble was just so weird and everything. Or summer camp, as I still call it. I'm going to call it, the way I told it, summer camp and the Disney bubble. Because it really is. It really, really is summer camp. It's just something that I still thought, despite the problems that obviously the Heat gave them, definitely in the regular season, that is something that I still felt that Budenholzer, you will make the adjustments of having Giannis, not having to just dribble at the top of the key in the half court, and then hoping to chuck up a set shot, and hope that goes in, or hope that he's able to get to the rim, regardless of how many three guys are on him. Because Spoelstra, he's gonna do it even better than Nurse did in terms of, okay, we're gonna wall you off, whatnot, and really work on that. Because Spoelstra is really that elite of a coach, and I still thought Budenholzer would make those adjustments. Now, the thing that hurts them is that you have Korver on the team, but you lost both Mirotic and Brogdon. So that's really two less shooters, because you can't expect George Hill, even though George Hill's always improved his three-point shooting, has been really a quality three-point shooter, he's still not at the level of Mirotic, Korver as a shooter. And even Brogdon, and definitely even Brogdon as well. So now you already down one less shooter overall, even if you have Korver, okay? And, Bledsoe in and out, inconsistent with a shot. DiVincenzo, inconsistent with a shot, not really having an impact as he should for him being a great athlete. And no, we don't say deceptively athletic here. It's just something that he just really hasn't made the impact as you would get from, say, Tyler Hero or Kendrick Nunn on the other side. So I just feel that Budenholzer, he hasn't really, to me, used Giannis as best as he can. Where Giannis that last game, he just said, F it, I'm just gonna go hit my spots, really hit it as fast as possible before they close down on me. And if not, then I'm gonna try to pro quick, and then I'm gonna still hit the spot, and you're not gonna deny me the rim. Or if I get to the low post, I will do my thing on the low post. So that's why I feel that he just, to me, has not done enough, I think, at all to really make those plan B, plan C adjustments, because the Heat are going to try to play quick, are going to try to play small. And then, to me, he hasn't done a good job of trying to contain Bam Adebayo with Lopez or with whoever he wants to use with, because Bam Adebayo, you have to game plan against him. He's outstanding. He's what Tristan Thompson should always be. Or whatnot. With Bam Adebayo, Bam is like, he's not the rebounder at Tristan Thompson's peak. Because when Tristan Thompson was at his peak, he was rebounding at Dennis Rodman levels. Really having that impact. Jonathan. He was a terror on the
he had a few games here and there, but
he was making
Dennis Rodman levels.
At least for rebounding, like he was. For a few games, he really was. Not defensively. To quote the late great Kobe Bryant, that's a Bikram yoga stretch. Oh my God.
That's a Bikram yoga stretch. But anyway, real quick, lightning round. One is Budenholzer. Okay, first off, Game 5. Are the Bucks done tonight? Are they getting put to bed tonight? Yes or no?
Oh boy, because they should, but I'm gonna say yes. But you saw it inside the NBA real quick. But yes to this question, did you see inside the NBA last night?
Bits and pieces.
Well, if you saw the discussion that they had about if Giannis was unavailable and the Bucks won this game.
Oh yeah, I did see that. If Giannis is not available, which he isn't, we just confirmed that, and the Bucks win that game, it's gonna get really interesting. I still think Heat win the series, but it's gonna get dicey. It's gonna get dicey. It's gonna get dicey. It's gonna get dicey.
Yep.
Right.
What's the next question?
So next question is, does will Budenholzer get fired this offseason, in your opinion?
I have to, honestly, for sure, unless he miraculously comes back in this series, then miraculously wins against the Celtics and Raptors, I think the Celtics, and then wins in the final against either the Lakers or the Clippers, although the Nuggets was my dark horse for a reason. I think he deserves to get fired because Giannis only has a year left on his deal overall, and it's something where they should not have been down 3-0 against the Heat. All right, like I know this year's been weird with this bubble, but look, Nate McMillan's got fired for nothing. Alvin Gentry got fired for, to me, nothing overall. So
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's big expectations, but sometimes you just run into a bad matchup, you know. But anyway,
no,
so that I'm trying to think.
It is no excuse for a number one seed, especially because the Bucks, they do have guards that can hurt the Heat right back.
They're my point to Ellie is that they're a fake number one seed. They're a fake number one seed because they're a number one seed because they thrive so well in the regular season. But in the playoffs, they're top heavy. They rely way too much on Giannis. They do.
But Jonathan, they have title expectations.
Yeah, but just because somebody got title expectations don't mean that they're actually built to win a title. I look at the Bucks; they're not a championship team. They're not built for the playoffs.
Their ownership would probably say, "We are built, and we are not satisfied with what we're seeing."
I'm just saying. Like I know that's what the narrative is going to be, but that doesn't mean it was correct.
Well, let's think about it. Are the Heat truly a title built organization right now? I mean,
are they built for the playoffs? Is that roster better built for the playoffs than the Bucks are? Yes.
No, that's not the question, Jonathan Jordan.
I mean,
do you believe that they are a title team
this year?
Yes,
it's looking like it right now. I don't think anybody said, "Oh my goodness," except for a few Heat fans. It's looking like it right now.
At the beginning,
they're better built for the playoffs. They're better built for the playoffs.
Well, I mean, we'll see.
They are.
We'll see against the Celtics if they're better built than against the Celtics.
Well, let's make sure. Let's not let the Celtics count their chickens before they hatch. They still need, because if that goes 7, things can get real interesting. The Celtics better put in another effort like they put in last night and put the clamp down and win in 6. Because just like how we said, if the Bucks win without Giannis tonight, then that series gonna get interesting. If that series goes 7, that Celtics Raptors series goes 7, things gonna get real interesting.
It should go 7 because the Raptors had a better regular season. Pascal Siakam, they're champions. Hell, it should go 7 for them. It should. I mean,
we'll see. We'll see.
I want to see Nick Nurse. I was like, Nick Nurse, you are not an overrated coach. If you can outcoach Brad Stevens, then Brad Stevens basically gave you a game by playing zone and Jalen Brown did overall. But Brad Stevens, you gave the man a game when y'all should have been already up 3-0. You know, you really Taco Fall. Shout out to Taco Fall.
All right, we were talking coaches. Let's talk about the other major coaching news. Netsland, real quick. They're not in the playoffs anymore. They've been excused. But let's talk real quick about that, and then we'll come back to some of the series that are going on. So, your initial thoughts when you first heard Steve Nash getting the head coaching job for our new – well, I keep slipping up. Now I'm old school. I'm about to say the New Jersey Nets, our Brooklyn Nets.
You want to know my initial thoughts?
Yeah, I want to know your initial thoughts.
Ha 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 ha.
And why the laughter?
Steve Nash, up until a year ago, in fact, still now, was not even in the game of basketball. He was all in on soccer. In fact, he still is a part owner of Mallorca, which got relegated out of La Liga in Spain.
Okay.
He literally was a year ago, and my friend Kate Abdo of TNT of overall soccer thing, he was an analyst for Bleacher Report's coverage of the Champions League on TNT.
Okay.
He wasn't even advising the Warriors anymore. So he wasn't, I mean, he could advise here and there, but he was more invested in soccer. See, this is my thing, like, because people were bringing up, oh, Isaiah Thomas, Doc Rivers, Mark Jackson. They didn't have any coaching experience, whatever. And yeah, that's true. They didn't have any NBA coaching experience, any coaching experience before, and they got their head coaching jobs, but they were at least still involved in the game by busy broadcasting. Isaiah Thomas, I forgot Isaiah Thomas, that 1998 final Bulls season, having to mention that final Bulls title season, was actually broadcasting with NBC Sports and being like the main broadcast commentator along with Doug Collins, I think with Bob Costas. So he's involved in broadcasting. So the game is all the way in him, let alone him shaping up the Raptors, ironically enough, back then. And Mark Jackson, broadcasting with ABC, all in the game. Doc Rivers, that back in 1999, right after the year after Jordan, he's busy broadcasting and then becomes the Magic coach. And by the way, was the coach of the year, I think, off the bat.
But I think this comes back to our overall thing. It's player driven. From all I've heard, from all the reports, obviously an owner and a GM has to sign off on it somewhere. But again, they're at the behest of players. And I mean, if you want to talk about two players that got cachet, it's Kyrie and KD. You're going to bow to what they want to do because they're going to sell your tickets. If Kyrie and KD wanted Nash as their coach, I mean, are you a GM or an owner with enough balls to say no?
Yeah, because I signed the damn contract and they're here, and where the hell else are they going to go? Are they going to sit out and say they're going to pout that Jacques Vaughn's a coach? But Jacques Vaughn should still be that coach. And I'm not just saying this for, first off, I'll get into the full racial discussion in a second. The best two coaches in NBA summer camp in the Disney bubble were Jacques Vaughn and Monty Williams of the Suns. The Suns honestly were unlucky that that the Blazers were able to maybe win a little bit of whatever. First, the Blazers just narrowly got into the playoffs, with the Nets almost knocking them out, ironically enough. Monty Williams, the Suns undefeated in the bubble. They will be a threat next season overall, no doubt about it. Outstanding. The second best coach in the bubble was Jacques Vaughn. Jacques Vaughn did such an incredible job because when he got the job, when we were in pre-COVID time, normal times, at least America was, I was like, damn, Sean Marks, you're a nice guy, but you fired Kenny Atkinson. Kenny Atkinson's got the team. They play team ball. They rolling. They just been unfortunate to have injuries and whatnot. Give Kenny Atkinson, KD, Kyrie fully all the way. Karis LeVert healthy. Call their shots. They are, to me, a legitimate title team. But they went and decided that. So I was like, Jacques Vaughn, wow. Okay, good for you, Jacques Vaughn. And then I forgot that he was the Magic coach and didn't have a great distinctive record with the Magic, and that's why he was done with them and went back to being an assistant coach, right?
Okay.
But I didn't think about it. I was like, oh, Jacques Vaughn, former player, great, that's cool for him. But man, Kenny Atkinson got railroaded. And I still kind of believe he did. So then I'm like, you know, they're playing good. They're giving the Raptors problems before COVID-19 again. Beat the Raptors in Toronto, ended their win streak. Karis LeVert going off, looking like a real all-star. So now then the bubble starts, and they're playing great. They're playing great team ball. Karis LeVert looking great again. Joe Harris, who's going to call his money right now, he's going to be very coveted, Joe Harris. And the Nets, hopefully, for their sake, I'm not a Nets fan, I'm speaking as an objective journalist overall, they should bring him back. Joe Harris playing great without the basketball, like, you know, without needing to shoot a three, taking it to the hole. Dinwiddie doing his thing. Cruz developing. Really doing it without DeAndre Jordan too in the bubble, all right? So you're down Kyrie, KD, DeAndre Jordan, and then Joe Harris gets hurt, all right? Like during the Raptors series. So they're already low man against the Raptors, so they always get trouble. They were actually real competitive after the Raptors shot the lights out in the first half of game one, where they cut it down from a 30-point deficit to an 8-point deficit. Then they played the Raptors real tight game two. And was respectable against, again, without 4 starters. So the team loves him. They're playing great team basketball. I actually have a friend that's on this that went to BU. That's the trainer on the team, Dan Libert. We're going to get on to talk about his bubble experience. And the team loves him. They're playing great ball and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. So, question.
Yes.
The team loves him. And when you say the team, largely Kyrie and KD have not played for him.
That's right. And that's
Kyrie and KD have not played for him. And it seems from all reports that those were the two main voices that went and basically, for lack of a better term, recruited Steve Nash. Because like you said at the opening of the segment, Steve Nash wasn't even looking to even express interest in coaching a team.
At all.
What it looks like, and I think, again, I'm going to come back to the main theme. The coaches run this, okay? I mean, not the coaches, the players run this.
Yeah, coaches.
What happens is that I honestly think that Steve Nash is what we would call a figurehead. You know, like how in England, the Queen is a figurehead, but the Prime Minister and Parliament really got the actual power. Steve Nash is basically going to be a figurehead. He's going to have some cachet when he's going to be able to try to sweet talk some of the refs, try to maybe get a couple calls. It's going to look nice. It's going to be a nice little story, this, that, and the other. You know, some people are going to chatter about it. But at the end of the day, it's going to be more important how you fill out the rest of his coaching staff and the rest of the people down the bench. And he's going to fill it out if he's smart or if the GM's smart. They're going to fill it out with people who have some kind of basketball acumen, who can sort of kind of handle a lot of the X's and O's, and who can hold Steve Nash's hand through the different stuff. Steve Nash is going to be the one who's going to, you know, really get a lot of the media glare. But the real coaching is going to happen from the assistant coaches. Truly. And I think that's what's going to end up happening. And I think it's not surprising if you look at the kind of players that Kyrie and KD are. They sort of kind of need to have their ego stroked. They need to sort of kind of like, you know, have somebody that they either feel they can control or somebody that they're cool with. And I think that Steve Nash checks both of those boxes. So I don't think it was even, we know that this wasn't a hire on the merits. I mean, Steve Nash is not stupid. He's a smart guy. He clearly knows how to run an offense.
Well, we don't know
but
that.
At least on the floor. I mean, I'm not saying he knows how to draw plays and, you know, that. Yeah. But I mean, he's not stupid. You know, it's not like you went and you got somebody who, you know, it's not like you went and you got Bill Belichick and told him, here, go coach the Nets. Like, you know, it's the same sport. And I think it's what we would call, he's basically Manchurian candidate. You know, KD and Kyrie want to be able to do whatever they want. They don't want to have a ton of accountability. Like, Steve Nash can't really truly check them, because if they come at odds, then KD and Kyrie can be like, excuse me, sir, we're the ones who put you here. So I think it's more of a power move, and it's more that the Nets ownership and GM front office, they're like, look, we went out, we signed these 2 free agents. They basically have us by the proverbial balls. We're going to listen to them and bend to their will a little bit more, because we want them happy. Because if they're happy, maybe they'll coexist enough, and maybe they're just talented enough, the 2 of them, that if they're happy, we can make some noise in the East and maybe win a chip. At least we'll be more relevant than the Knicks, and we'll be able to steal page 6 off the Knicks, or whatever, the back page from the Knicks, and we'll be the more relevant team and continue to be the more relevant team. So that's what I think it is. I think it's, you know, they're going to have the sexier coach. They're going to have the sexier free agents. They're going to have the sexier chance of, you know, championship aspirations. It's not so much so that they win a championship. That'd be nice. That'd be icing on the cake. But it's more so, we want to keep these 2 guys happy, and these 2 guys like to really do what they want to do. So we'll let them have free reign and hope that their talent is just good enough to put them over the top. it's probably misguided, but that's what I think it is. I think Steve Nash just was like, I mean, he got offered a chance to, you know, get some shine, and he's just like, hey, I'm not going to say no. It's like if somebody offer you, like, you know, $50 million, you're not going to be like, no, unless, you know, they got to, like, kill their family member or something like that, you know? So I think that's what happened. Are there racial undertones to it? Most definitely. With somebody else necessarily. But I think it has less to do with the fact that Steve Nash is white and more to do with the fact that they just basically want a figurehead. They want somebody who's not going to really necessarily hold them accountable, somebody who's their boy, and somebody who, you know, they can just, you know, do what they want.
Well, this is why it's on, and this is why Stephen A. Smith had to write the rant overall, and how no matter what because KD worked with Steve Nash when he was consulting with the Warriors, as they call consults in the NBA, which is just like, hey, bring him in here, what's up? And, you know, Steve is a great guy and everything like that. Steve's a wonderful guy, really tremendous guy. Truly, what people don't say, he's truly in Black solidarity. Steve Nash, he truly, Steve Nash or whatever.
Yeah, he's definitely invited to the cookout.
And he's the type where he doesn't even try to quote unquote act black, whatever that means or whatnot. But but he truly is his own person without needing to quote any lyrics or do anything of certain statuses like certain players may do that are not black or overall or just individuals of what it is. He truly is a guy that's truly an equalist, wonderful person that's all about really being a unifier overall. He just truly is, you know, and fortunately for him, he's met, and in fact, he's met overall, there was a big situation, unfortunately, that he had to deal with in his life, directly, personally speaking, that when he was with the Suns, all I can say is that Jason Richardson, shake my head at you, Jason. Jonathan, you know what I'm alluding to, right?
Do break it down for our audience.
Well, I might as well just screen grab overall. I think that'll be even something even more telling, because I think, Jonathan, I don't think you know. Do you know? You know what I'm referring to with Steve Nash and Jason Richardson?
What, they had some situation with their wives or something?
Well, yeah. You could say that. You can say that. You can say that. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Is that real, y'all? Is that real? And yet, so Steve Nash, karma-wise, great people deserve great things and whatnot. And Steve Nash really, really is a wonderful person. He truly is, all right?
I mean, I think at the end of the day, no, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, but this is what we protest about with BLM and Stephen A. Smith. He's long been saying this for years overall about the lack of black coaches. And, you know, Sean Marks at the end of the day is a GM. And yes, KD, his springs with Steve was great, and Kyrie was signed on to it. Steve is a great guy and everything like that. And if KD signs on to it, then Kyrie's going to sign on to it because that's his buddy. Now, Sean Marks. Key thing is that Sean Marks, probably the greatest New Zealand player ever, or whatnot, in basketball history or whatnot. Sean Marks, the Kiwi that he is, he played with Steve Nash and the Suns when all that was going down with Jason Richardson. But he played with Steve Nash on the Suns. Him and Steve, very, very good with each other. Because Kiwis are nice, and Canadians can be real nice. Well, most of them. Some of them I had experience. They can be real. And genuinely awesome people. They bond, obviously, stayed close with each other throughout the years, throughout the various courses of time. Now, Katie says, oh, fine, you know what? Steve would be a good guy. And Sean Marks is like, wait a minute, yeah, Steve, yeah, of course Steve. Steve is great. Steve is tremendous. Steve's a great guy, of course. Not only amazing MVP, one of the great offensive point guards ever, but he's also, just a genuinely great guy. He'll be perfect for the job. When you got Von right there, who literally showed for the rest of the team that he is the guy that's got them playing great. Got Karis LeVert at the highest level. Joe Harris playing like not just as a shooter, but really as a threat to score inside. The bench is set up nice. Proving it, he's worked the system out so what you want it to work into. The system that Kenny Atkinson got, that he got from Popovich, and what Sean Marks would want overall.
Like I said, I think this was player driven, and obviously the GM and the owner have to sign off on it, but they're not going to piss off their two big players.
Jonathan, if you were the owner and you just signed them after a year, where they're playing here in Brooklyn, highest paid guys in the league, wanting to win a title with themselves here in Brooklyn, despite them already being NBA champions. You, the owner, Joseph Tsai, with all his money, Alibaba and everything, and also Sean Marks, who has all the owner stuff. You're going to let them decide who's going to be your coach overall after you sign them to a deal? Where they going to go?
All right, but here's the thing. Scenario, okay? Because, again, we're talking about dynamics. Scenario. People usually like the path of least resistance, okay? All right? This is scenario, all right? Now, everything, you got to look at context. If, say, for example, I'm an owner, I have my two box office superstars. They come to me and they say, we like this person to be coach, okay? Mm-hmm. We believe that this person will be a good coach that we can work with, and we can take them on to the next level. Not only that, signing this coach is going to get a lot of splash, a lot of pizzazz. People are going to be talking about it. Maybe they didn't expect a negative backlash, but people are going to be talking about it. And he's generally a likable guy, okay? For the owner to do what is the fair and equitable thing and interview other people, and I'm not saying that that's what, for him to do that, right? He risks pissing off his two main box office attractions, right? Mm-hmm. Now, most people, like I said, it's about the path of least resistance. We would like to think, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to go by the book. I'm going to make sure that the person who is best for the job gets this job. And that's noble, and that's all fine and great. But it's the path of least resistance to just sign off on it, knowing that odds are you're probably going to fill out the assistant coach who's really going to be the real coach. You're going to fill out your assistant coaches, and I just want them happy, because if they're happy, they're going to play well. If they are not happy, if I tell them no, then maybe they sign a shorter deal. Maybe they don't play well together. Maybe they're pouting. Maybe it infects the rest of the locker room. Maybe I get a greater headache than just saying yes.
Very good point. But my thing is that Dennis Sisu, what was the relationship between Jacques Vaughn and KD, who didn't even play this year, and Kyrie, who did this whole entire year? Because if they liked Jacques Vaughn a lot, they would have been like, you know what? No, Jacques is perfect to be the coach, just like everybody else on the team. Mm-hmm. That's a very intriguing thing that I would like to see overall.
Yeah, but I mean, look, time will tell. It is what it is. I'm interested to see how it plays out. And just like how I'm interested to see how the rest of these playoffs plays out. Definitely. And I'm interested to find out your thoughts on the results from the games last night.
Well, I can say I thought the Nuggets were always dangerous to the Clippers, but because I thought the Nuggets were always a dark horse coming into with how Michael Porter has stepped up all the way. And this is before Jamal Murray exploded. But then the Nuggets should never been down 3-1 against the Jazz in the first place. A Jazz team without Bojan Bogdanovic, and yet they had to really scrap with the funniest Game 7 ever in terms of modern times, because the CA West, even though it's in the summer camp bubble, the CA Western Conference Game 7, or hell, even Eastern Conference now, be decided by the 90s, early 2000s basketball score of 80-78.
No, but see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. And this is a tip I'm gonna give. It's a betting tip right now. Y'all ready? Hot betting tip. It's coming in.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Betting tip. All right.
All right. Game 7s notoriously hit the under.
They do the tension.
They notoriously hit the under. Like, you can many times just close your eyes.
True.
Game 7s hit the under like nobody's business.
But you know, with how they were scoring, especially Jamal Murray, that's why a little bit I got sucked into it, because Nikola Jokic is my second favorite player after LeBron in the league. And that whole series, he really took a backseat to Jamal Murray.
He really did.
And I said to myself, Jonathan, when it was 3-1, I had said, and I already was saying that there's no reason why the Nuggets should be down. I know we're in the summer camp and everything like this, but with Michael Porter emerging, Jamal Murray is just a chuck. He shoots too much. He's always been like that, even at Kentucky a bit, where he's just not. He's a shooting guard or whatnot more than ever he'll ever be point guard. And the Nuggets need to think about getting great value for him because they're so talented. You signed Gary Harris to his deal, so you might as well get some great value for Jamal Murray, because that makes Nikola Jokic passive. That makes him want to pass instead of the balance like LeBron for me has of both scoring and passing. Like Nikola Jokic for me, especially with how skilled he is down low, he can sometimes pass too much. And I just felt that, thankfully, and Jamal Murray, but then he went off Jamal Murray, 50-50. You're like, Jamal Murray, now you're just not just a borderline all-star. You are really scoring at this level where you're going toe-to-toe with Donovan Mitchell, and you're showing that you can be a number one player for a team that wants to go be in the league, to be a title contender. And then Game 7 happened, and then it reverted back to the tension of the moment. And then it was like in a game where everything's locked in, laser focused, he wasn't able to shoot that well. Nikola Jokic had to be the man on the team, and he was. And I just feel like the Nuggets, the Clippers series right now is showing that, where Jamal Murray is again out really all-star time, but is he a superstar?
No, but here's part of the issue. Again, playoff basketball, that's what I said. There's a couple different seasons. There's the regular season, and there's someone said it recently. I'm borrowing this, paraphrasing. There's the regular season up until the All-Star break. Then there's the All-Star break when everybody's jockeying for a position up until the start of the playoffs, and then there's the postseason. All right? In the postseason, it's about matchups. It's about how do you take advantage of matchups, how do you make adjustments, and how do you press your advantages. That's what it's all about. It's about rebounding. It's about defense. It's about possession basketball. It's about shot making. You got to make it. You got to make your shots, okay? What happens is that the first round series, the matchups, Jokic was always going to have to work harder because he had to deal with Gobert, okay? Now, in this round, the Clippers don't really have an elite defender that's a big man. So Jokic is gonna, if he's aggressive, he's gonna be able to more or less throw his weight around and have his way. But Jamal Murray's gonna have a tough series. Why? Because the Clippers are built, they have multiple wing defenders to throw at perimeter players. So Jamal Murray gonna have a long night, because if he don't see PG in his grill, he's gonna see Kawhi in his grill, he's gonna see Patrick Beverly in his grill. He's going to have, like, the Clippers are built to deal with perimeter threats.
They are.
So it was always going to be a tough series for Jamal Murray. And then also, too, you ride in high, you're going to have a come down. So you add 1 and 2 together, and that's why Jamal Murray looks like trash. It doesn't mean, oh my goodness, we spoke too soon. people go way too high. It's an emotional. It's what we call the analyst roller coaster. People get way high on you. You got a couple nice games, and then people get way low on you when you get a couple bad games.
But
you know.
But that's the thing.
And it's always somewhere in the middle.
That's the thing. It is, but it shows though that, you know, regardless, because he did score on Kawhi here and there, like in these games so far. But but it's something though that shows so that he still has a little bit of that barrier overall where he can't be then, because he was playing like a top 5 player. No question. I mean, hell, top 3, top 4 player. And
yeah, but a short sample size.
And that's the key. And that's why in this series, I just feel that he or Michael Porter have to help Nikola Jokic be the balance towards Kawhi and Paul George, because then you're going to get split for, because both teams are deep. In fact, I honestly believe the only team in the league that can match the Clippers' depth of talent is the Nuggets. And this is the Nuggets team without Will Barton, by the way. So, I mean, you have a Nuggets team that, to me, you have 6 guys on the team that can legitimately score 20 points, certainly on a night in terms of Jokic, Murray, Porter, Paul Millsap, Gary Harris give you like 15. I won't say definitely Monte Morris, but he's a great distributor that can get the ball rolling. If Will Barton was on the team, for sure you would add him as well too. And that's not to mention Miles Plumlee and the tremendous talent that is one of the only people that's taller than you in this world, Bol Ball. Bol Ball is going to shut it down, ladies and gentlemen, because the Nuggets really have drafted so intelligently and really taking these chances on these players overall, you know.
Yeah, like the Nuggets are coming.
And,
they're probably maybe a piece or two away. They're coming, but the Clippers are built this year to handle business. And I'll tell you this much. If Paul George plays, now this is always the big if, but if Paul George consistently plays the way he played last night, I'm going to pull out the U word. The Clippers are unbeatable.
Well, they should be. That's why I picked them at the beginning.
If Paul George plays the way he played last night, they're unbeatable. Where he's like, I'm gonna drop 30 and I'm gonna get up on my guy and make it a living hell, put him on an island. If he does that kind of game, they're pretty much unbeatable.
I mean, we think both the Lakers and the Clippers still gonna meet in the West Finals, right?
They should. They should. I mean, Houston might have something to say about that, but they should.
Did you bet the Rockets? Did you bet the Rockets now, sir? Did you?
No, I did not bet the Rockets. Okay. I like my money.
Okay, just making sure. So we still think the Lakers and Clippers should be in the West Finals, right?
Like I said, they should. They should.
All right. Now, I think they will be in the West Finals. Now, I will say this. The reason why, even with Paul George playing the best, that the Clippers need a little bit more is that Charles Barkley said it well last night. Lou Williams has not played well in NBA summer camp. He has not played well since he had those wings at the Atlanta club. And with how Rondo's back on the Lakers, they are able, because the Morris twins cancel each other. That's going to be so funny. The Morris twins, they just can't be inseparable anywhere in their life, whether it's high school, of course. Well, first playing basketball in the first place. High school, Candace, playing for the Suns, like they can't be inseparable. Can't be inseparable. But now the Lakers bench has really gotten better and better to really, because the Clippers clearly had an advantage at the beginning of the season. Then you have LeBron and AD having their chemistry all the way and whatnot. If Kuzma can continue to not be AWOL, and you have Marcus Morris giving you this, and if Caldwell Pope can shoot, I mean, that's the thing. I thought the Lakers can shoot as well as the Clippers. They can't. But they can negate it enough while still having the advantages inside that they can, as they showed against the Clippers before COVID-19 hit and beat them. So
look, I'm gonna tell you what it broke down to. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you what that's. I'm gonna tell you what the Lakers will go as far as the following. Okay. And this will be a test. We talked about coaches and overrated coaches. We could throw Vogel in that discussion.
Yes, definitely.
The Lakers will go as far as, and write this down, stop the presses. The Lakers will go as far as Rajon Rondo takes them.
I believe it.
We'll go as far as Rajon Rondo takes it. Because if you look at that first half, you look at the first half of game 2, they scored 65 points. You were like, where did this offense come from? 65, 67 points? 67 points. It was 67-51 at the half. They scored 67 points. And who was out there humming with 7 assists? Rajon Rondo. He allows there's no problems with the post-entry pass to AD. He allows LeBron to play off the ball and be more deadly with the hockey assist, where LeBron is moving with the ball when he catches a pass.
Yes, sir.
And now he can make decisions and then get people into better shots.
Yes, sir.
And what happens is in that third quarter, when Houston came all the way back and took the lead, Rajon Rondo, 0 assists, no impact. When they brought him back in the fourth, he hit a couple of huge shots down the stretch, and I think he probably had 1 or 2 more assists. Rajon Rondo is going to be that key because here's the thing. LeBron James can pass, one of the best passes we've ever seen in the history of the NBA. Rajon Rondo knows how to run an offense, and those are 2 separate things. Those are 2 separate things, okay? Rajon Rondo knows how to get people into their spots, knows how to run an offense, and knows how to get the ball movement properly. And so that is the advantage, and he puts everybody else in their right position to be able to succeed and to work as an overall unit. So they will go as far as Rajon Rondo will think. And so if they keep doing this minutes restriction, yeah, I understand they want to keep him and whatever, but at some point you have to take the training wheels off and be like, look, can you go or can you not go? We'll hook you up to IV later. I put you in an ice bath, put you in a cryogenic chamber or whatever afterwards. But we're going to need you to find the fountain of youth, like dial into like Celtics 2008 mode, because we're going to need that Rajon Rondo who can, be the primary playmaker and have LeBron be the secondary playmaker, play off the ball, and that's when the Lakers are going to be potentially most dangerous. Because otherwise, if they don't start humming and they don't consistently start making 110 plus, they're going to lose. They are.
Well, you just always like Skip with Bayless, the underhanded compliment to LeBron James. You act like LeBron can't even organize an offense. So, man,
he can't.
The greatest perimeter player of all time.
Yeah, okay.
All
right.
Or whatnot.
I'm not gonna take the bait. You want to have that conversation? We'll have that conversation another time.
It's a great.
But I'm not gonna take the bait. But like I said, I'm not.
For the next episodes when I have you on or whatnot, good sir.
All right.
All the way. But that's other than that, we covered everything. In fact, right now I can say for those who are watching our show, whatnot, since we're doing this in live time overall, but they'll have to see it on YouTube because I'm not streaming it on Bigo on Twitter or whatnot. The Bucks are making sure that they're handling business Diana, so it gets some dicey. They're up 9-5. 9-5.
Oh, 9-5. Oh, come on. Like, you overhyping it now. That's a 4-point lead. Come on.
They're quitting this right now. I'm telling you.
That's raw emotion in the first quarter. Let me see if they got a lead mid to late third quarter and come talk to me. That's emotion. Oh, we got to do it for our leader. Yay. We'll see where they at mid third quarter. If Jimmy Buckets is like, all right, we about this life. We'll see what's up. We'll see what Jimmy Buckets got to say about this.
Well, on that note, great sir, this has been a tremendous episode. Sorry, Houston Rockets fans, you may be offended by us just not even me at least saying, okay, y'all may still do some damage here and there in the series, but I can't see it as happening overall.
I'll say that goes at least 6.
Well, I mean, it's one less than Skip Bayless, so things are going to go the full distance. And Raptors fans, I know, I got good friends in Toronto, but they get upset. I said that Mike Budenholzer should have been given a key to the city last year because he's the reason why you have a title in my mind, the primary reason. But I think that your title run overall against the Celtics, whether it's Game 6, Game 7, I think the Celtics do close them out in Game 6 because they already gave the Raptors life, and they'll have the same sense of urgency that they did in Game 5, even if the Raptors step up their intensity, which they will, but it's going to be what it is. DiVincenzo for 3. Oh, Milwaukee! They are up 14-7. And on that,
like I said, that's them. Hey, look, a game is 4 quarters, baby. A game is 4 quarters. A game is 4 quarters.
Well,
don't get excited. Hey, look. Don't get excited over 25 cents. You call your mom with 25 cents. Don't get excited over 25 cents. 4th quarter, baby. 4th quarter. Talk to me in the 3rd quarter.
I'm not at all, sir. But on that note, we gotta go all the way. I appreciate this incredible Jonathan Jordan. Be your Robin Ory. He's all the way. He's clutch all the way, Jonathan Jordan. Jones, the basketball
I think the Heat close it out tonight, though. I think they do. That's my projection. He close it out tonight, and I don't know. We'll see how that Lakers game goes.
Sir. You just interrupted my whole outro right there. Oh, it's okay. Thank you for all watching, everybody. The best basketball show on all of YouTube and in general. It's still rising. Join us on the basketball show has no name. Peace. In and out. All right, go.